Welcome to Access a Trader, the #1 community for those who are committed to taking control of their trading in order to achieve success, profitability, and longevity. Thank you for joining us. Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing well. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everybody is happy and healthy. Most important, happy and healthy. And hopefully you guys are progressing in your career. If you can do me a cute solid, I'm always told to say this, please click a like if you enjoy the content, you like what we're doing, or just if you feel sorry for me, right? Either case, if you could be so kind, click a like, and I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and share. So let's talk about the day. By the way, of all the videos I've made for years and years and years and years, the word shaft yesterday was kind of the highest response I've gotten in every video. You guys are lunatics. I respect it, but you guys are lunatics. So let's talk about the market, right? Market continues, right? We continues to rally. The Qs once yesterday got back above the 486 level, continues to shine. We are very, very close, not that far away from reclaiming back the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is 94.20s. It's going to change a little bit tomorrow, but 494.20s is the 200-day moving average. Last time it tried to rally to the 200-day moving average was on March the 7th. You can see here what happened the next day. It got rejected and we went lower, right? So the question for tomorrow is, number one, be aware that 494.20s is the 200-day. It's not a little thing. It's not a minor thing. It's not just a little glitch. It's a big, big supply zone to reclaim. Is it possible it gets rejected off the 200-day the first time around and starts coming in? Very, very possible. I'll show you an example of Tesla did exactly the same thing. But remember, right? Remember, these supply zones, they're not concrete walls. They're pregnant pauses. They could always reclaim at a later time. Again, I'll show you an example of Tesla in a few minutes. So the bulls desperately need a close tomorrow above the 494.20s level. If that's the case, it's going to finally get some breathing room, right? All this that we've been seeing for the last 4 or 5 days has been pretty good action. I think really pretty solid action. But again, until we get back above the 200-day moving average, then we can at least start having a conversation of risk on. The ultimate risk on is when we reclaim back the 50, but the 50-day moving average is still 16 points away. Again, who the hell knows? But again, baby steps, one after the other: reclaim, digest, rest, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So that's a very, very big number on the QQQ. SPY got back above the 200-day moving average last night. It priced improved today, and now it's building a base. As long as the SPY doesn't give back 573 on the close, the bulls are fine. You can still see here there's room next coming up to 577, 579. I'm not going to really address the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Again, who cares? It's 30 stocks. So you got the S&P over the 200-day moving average. You have the QQQs about a point and change away from trying to reclaim it as well. So tomorrow it's going to be very, very interesting to see, can we get that push? Not the initial push that probably will get rejected, but the second half push, kind of towards the second half of the day. Can we close above the 200-day moving average and start prolonging, extending this rally? Individual equities, right? Individual equities, and we'll start off with Tesla. Tesla has been on an incredible run, right? An absolute incredible run. If you've been following the broadcast for the last 3 days, it reclaimed 238 to reclaim back the 10-day moving average. It reclaimed 260 yesterday, pre-market highs. And we talked about in last night's video, I thought the stock had a legitimate shot to get it back into the 200-day moving average of the 284. So pre-market, as you can see the time here, pre-market, the stock was trading in the 284s. Congratulations for all you guys who took it overnight, had a run or whatever the case may be, sold it pre-market, because ironically, that was, and like I said before on the QQQ example, that was a pregnant pause, right? It wasn't a concrete wall, but what happened was Tesla did get perfectly rejected off the 200-day moving average in the morning. It sold off, all the way down to like 271. So you have a 13-point rejection off the 200-day moving average. But here was my point. Tesla reclaimed back the 200-day moving average on the close and closed all the way up into the 288. It's an absolutely monster run on Tesla. And that's exactly what we're talking about for the Qs tomorrow. You might get initial rejection, you might get an initial pause. But again, it all depends how it closed. The close tomorrow is more important than the initial test. Ultimately, you had a lot of really good names continuing their strength. Amazon, you know what? Let's go through the pivots. Might as well go through the pivots. So you had a lot of really good names. We talked about TEM yesterday. You guys remember on the video last night? Had an initial really good move, 59, 20, and 60, the pre-market highs. Again, the pre-market highs have been pretty substantial for confirmation, especially when they're above the previous day's channel, which usually mostly are. 59, 20, and 60 pre-market highs needs to confirm. Nice move. I mean, not a huge move, but you got a nice move there. Stock traded up to TEM traded all the way up to like 6150s. And again, as you can see here, it hit the perfect linear regression line. Again, when I hear new traders ask me, well, why do you have all these lines? Again, guys, it's there. And I joke all the time, but it's there to tell you where the stock is potentially going to get rejected. And if you didn't know that TEM has supply in the 6150s, well, again, you got rejected pretty hard, aggressively. But again, nice $2 push on TEM. Robinhood 49 needs to confirm. It started out pretty aggressively. On the day, and it just kind of faded down. It got above the 49, traded up to, not a big move, traded up to like 50, and then just kind of died on the vine. Again, the only good thing is it's still building above the 50-day moving average. AMD, I still like it. Didn't confirm. AMD, I still like it for tomorrow. You got a nice res day. Today, which basically was an inside day for AMD. The most important part, this is day 2 above the 50-day moving average. Watch this thing for tomorrow, guys. I still like this thing. Watch this thing for tomorrow. If this thing wakes up and gets just basically taking a breather today, and it wakes up, this thing could really, really scream. Again, depending how strong a week the market is going to be. NVIDIA, guys, I don't know what to tell you, NVIDIA. I really don't. I've been watching for 3 days. I've been watching for channels to potentially take advantage. This thing just doesn't have a pulse. It really doesn't. Every single time, even yesterday, they came with pretty aggressive call buying, the 23s, the 24s, the 25s, the 26 for the weeklies. At some point, maybe do I just ignore her tomorrow? Maybe you'll wake up, right? As what we always talk about, joking around, ignoring the hot chick. Maybe just got to ignore NVIDIA. But again, it's just very worrisome. This stock just cannot rally. Every other stock has rallied. This just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happened. Microsoft, it was very interesting. Microsoft, I got long Microsoft. There was a big buyer in the crowd, only rallied up like 70 cents, 50, 60 cents, whatever it was. Came back. It actually lost $1 on the trade. Very, very odd price action. I'm still trying to figure out why it didn't work. Meta had a really, really big, strong move. They announced that they are going to be issuing plans for $14 a month for, I think it's either Instagram and Facebook or both. Anyway, it's $14 a month with ad-free feed, right? Again, I don't personally, I couldn't care less about it. Like, I wouldn't spend $14 a month on it. But honestly, I don't even notice there are ads on Facebook and Instagram. To be fair, I'm on Facebook like once or twice a week just to see what my friends are doing. Instagram, who the hell knows, right? Who the hell knows? But nice move, beautiful move on Meta. 626.80 pre-market highs needs to build. Stock went right to the next supply zone at 633. Amazon was a really, really big move. Amazon 203.65 needs to confirm. All the way traded all the way up to the 206 level. And yeah, so excuse me, Kenyans have to bleep that out. Kenya, when you're hearing this message, bleep that out. I just cursed. So I messed up here. So I bought the dip on Tesla, right? I bought the dip on Tesla. And it was a heavy dip, right? It was a heavy dip. The next support was like 267, 267.50. And I said to myself, well, it has to react off that level, and it didn't. So it spiked up like 50, 60 cents. It was just heavy, heavy, heavy. I sold it break even, came in like $2. Keep this in mind, it got rejected in the morning. Came in $2. There was a big seller there. They were trying to clear up. I never bought it back. Yada, yada, yada. Closed at 288. So again, it sucks to suck, but it sucks. Kenya, remember, beep out what I just said. We don't want to get penalized. Other than that, you had res days today on PLTR, res days today on AMD. The semiconductor group just doesn't look good. You have Avago, just like Nvidia doesn't know that the market is rallying. You have Micron, closed, or at least sitting almost at its earnings lows. Nvidia, nobody knows what the hell is going on there, right? ARM looks okay, right? ARM looks okay, but again, you want to go with the leaders. But the most amazing part, again, I hate to say this, but the most amazing part is the one that looks the best is actually AMD. So it's very, very odd. Let me give you guys some names that I like for tomorrow, right? Let me give you guys some names that I like for tomorrow. These are names, again, either going to reclaim or try to confirm the 50-day moving average. So we talked about AMD. I really like AMD, especially if it starts waking up above yesterday's channel. Look at Shopify, right? Shopify is just dangling here on the 50-day moving average, right? It's just dangling, right? I want to watch this thing. Let's keep an eye on Shopify. If it starts confirming today's channel, maybe this thing really, really wakes up. For you guys who trade small cap stocks, there was and again, usually I wouldn't mention it. It's just, it was an option buyer that came in for next month's 250 calls. Why is that? Why is that news? It's not really news, but stock is $1.25. Keep an eye on this thing the next couple of days. If this thing starts taking out, for you guys who trade these smaller cap names, for you guys who trade these smaller cap names, keep an eye on this thing if it get above the February highs. Maybe this thing sparks something. And Tesla today finally closed above the 200-day moving average, which is super duper bullish. The question is, how long can you continue to push? The stock in the last 3 days has gone from 234 to 288, right? 50 points in 3 days. If you're like me and you screwed up the bounce today, I don't even know if I screwed up the bounce. Honestly, I think I did the right thing at that time. Again, it could have went down 6 points. Why be in the stock 6 points if you could sell it break even? But to its credit, it kind of bounced and made me look like schmuck. But yeah, any morning weakness, I definitely want to be buyer into rising support. What I don't want to do is buy it into strength. Again, is it possible it goes to 300 tomorrow, 304? It's possible, but I think the dips are safer. Again, you don't want to buy a day 4 into strength. Battling off day 3 after a 50-day move is a little bit extreme. But again, the longer it stays and continues to build over 285, the healthier and the more organic the next day or the next leg up will be. So Q's big level, big day coming up tomorrow for the 494.20s need to reclaim. Tesla needs to stay above the 200-day moving average. And we have a slew of names that are just resting on the 50-day. They need to confirm. Guys, God bless everybody. Have a great night. And with God's help, I will see you all tomorrow.